One of the biggest issues we're all facing right now is that Joe Biden using OSHA to implement vaccine mandates for companies that have 100 or more people. I know there's a caveat in there somewhere that, well, there's an option you could show a negative COVID test or something like that. From what I've seen, that little option seems to be kind of pushed to the wayside. And most companies that are doing this are doing, you need the vaccine or you're fired. And they're having creative language. A friend of mine in the podcast world, I guess I won't say his name just in case, but his company said, okay, you won't get the vaccine. You've got this excuse why you don't want to get it, whatever that's called, exemption, whatever, this kind of thing. But you're employed with us, but you're getting mandatory unpaid leave. So they're getting creative with these, with how they're firing people. However, I think now, before I ask the rest of the questions, and I know the answer to this, Debra, but just so my audience does, how do you feel about the vaccine mandate?
I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. I don't think anybody should mandate anything, that goes into my body or anybody's body. However, I did get the shot. Yes. But I think that's a horrible policy. I think it's just horrible.
What about schools?
I don't think that anything should be mandated.
Okay.
Yeah, Newsom just mandated it for kids over 12 in California.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Interesting that, that didn't come out before the election, but.
Yeah, before the recall.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It probably, Debra, to be honest, it probably wouldn't have made a difference in California.
I don't think it would.
Before.
It would not have made a difference in California.
I don't think so as well. Adam, are you able to talk about the issue that you face with the vaccine mandate coming down?
Yeah, I'm an open book.
Okay. Well, talk about that. I know it's possibly going to affect your livelihood.
Yeah. I'm a union elevator constructor, elevator mechanic. I'm a journeyman. And I work for a gigantic global conglomerate out of Germany who, unsurprisingly funded the Third Reich. And they're the ones that are going to be asking me for my papers pretty quick here. But they're sending out emails, weekly to my work email with these just really vague statements. They're not gonna enforce anything as long as they're just gonna do what the government says. But I think they're sweating it a little, Buck, because I think enough people in the company are going to just say no. And then the whole, at least out of the branch that I'm in, I don't know how it would be out of the branch. And, I started out in California, out of the Oakland branch, out of the San Francisco union. And I don't know how it'll be down there, but up here in Oregon, I went to the most recent union meeting, and there's a lot of people. There's about 3 times as many people as usually go to union meetings, saying that they're not going to do it. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that don't want to, that will, because they want to keep their jobs, but I think there's enough to make a difference. And the union, I've been in 4 different locals across 2 different trade unions, and I've been in for long enough to know that they're not going to do a thing to help us. At the meeting, they pretty much told us that if the union can't provide employees for the work that the companies have, they're allowed to go hire foreign non-union workers. And if you want to bring in elevator mechanics from India and Sri Lanka to go service down elevators in the Portland metropolitan area, I say let them do it. And I watch people start getting cut in half, and I think that'll change the whole thing.
Well, despite if them fearing like they're going to lose a bunch of you guys because there's people pushing back against it, through OSHA, would they not still have to do this?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And I think just massive non-compliance across every aspect of American life is the only way to make this mandate thing disappear.